A little bit.
Welcome back to the Home Loan Huddle. I'm your host, Bernard Koff, licensed mortgage broker. And with me today is my wonderful co-host and wife, Chelsea. How's it going, Chelsea?
I guess it's as good as it can be, and I am excited to be here with you tonight. I know I missed last week. I just wasn't feeling too well. I am excited to learn more and about mortgages and home loans, and I'm looking forward into diving into today's topics.
Absolutely. We've got a lot to cover today, and including first-time home buyers loan programs, down payment assistance in the state of Maine, and some important market trends. I'm ready to jump in if you are.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Let's start with those first-time homeowner programs. I hear you talk about those all the time. I'm fairly certain we did one of those programs.
That's right.
So, what are the main options for people who are buying a home for the first time?
Now, that is a great question, Chelsea. For first time home buyers, there are a few key loan programs that can make the process a lot smoother. One of the most popular is the Federal Housing Administration, or FHA loan. This loan is great. It allows for a lower down payment, sometimes just 3.5%, and has more relaxed credit score requirements compared to conventional loans.
I mean, 3.5%, that sounds extremely helpful. What are the differences between the FHA loan and other home loans?
Yeah, absolutely, honey. The main difference between an FHA loan and other loan types and programs is the mortgage insurance. Conventional loans have PMI, or private mortgage insurance, and any that's going to apply anytime you owe more than 80% of your home's value. Now, with an FHA loan, the mortgage is insured by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, at a much lower rate. This means lower monthly payments and, as a result, lower income to qualify in many cases.
I mean, that does sound great, but I'm sure there's other options out there if that isn't a correct fit.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. For those buying in rural areas, it may even be a better option for you to go with a USDA loan, a U.S. Department of Agriculture loan. Now, USDA loans don't actually require a down payment, and they're available on homes in areas with a total population less than 35,000 people. And another thing that you have to qualify, it must be less than 25 acres. Um, but
I mean, 'cause that's still quite a bit. But
it is quite a
what's
bit.
pausing me up? No down payment. No down payment.
As little as no down payment. So certain closing costs will be borrower paid: appraisal fees, credit report fees, title fees, etc. Now, you can have seller concessions up to
Hmm.
6% of the loan amount on a USDA loan. What that means is seller paid closing costs. So, with a little shrewd negotiating here, you can keep those costs down and actually make it so you walk away without any money out of pocket to buy your home.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. I'm wondering though, is there any programs for the men and women who have served in our military and those of which who are still serving active duty?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what you're going to be looking at in those cases, the best case is probably going to be with a VA loan. Those are going to be the way to go. Also, doesn't require a down payment and provides very favorable terms. These are available to most veterans with an active duty or honorably discharged veteran status. A mortgage professional like me can help you to verify your eligibility, or you can visit va.gov for more information. Now, instead of a guarantee fee like you have on the USDA or mortgage insurance like you have on the FHA, with the VA, you're going to have a loan guarantee that is offered to veterans who will pay a funding fee. Now, the funding fee is equal to a certain percentage of the loan amount, and it's based on how much of a down payment you're putting. So, your guarantee fee will be higher the smaller your down payment is.
Okay, so more upfront, less in the long run.
Correct. And it's also affected by how many VA loans you've done in the past. So if this is your first VA loan and you're putting 10% or more down, your funding fee could be as little as 0.5%. In which case, you're going to have a very low closing cost loan, and it's going to
Mhm.
wind you up with a great overall monthly payment and APR.
I mean, that sounds like a lot of great information. Now, I was wondering if there's any down payment assistance in Maine. What can you tell all of us about that?
Sure. Yeah. So Maine has some great options for down payment assistance. For instance, the Maine State Housing Authority, or Maine Housing, offers the Home Accessibility Program. This program offers grants and loans to help with down payments and closing costs, which can be a real boost for first time home buyers, and especially for first generation home buyers who've
Yeah.
never lived in a home owned by a parent or guardian. They can get up to $10,000 through this program to cover down payment and closing costs, which added
Is
together with your
extremely
savings.
healthy.
Yeah, it
Healthy.
really puts a lot of people in a good position to buy.
I mean, that does sound like an amazing resource. Now, I know we're all about trying to work with a whole bunch of local people. Is it a local organization?
Yeah, so Maine Housing is actually an Augusta funded Maine state program. It is just serving Maine borrowers, and really focusing in on these first time home buyers. They even have their own first time home buyers
Mhm.
loan program at Maine Housing. Which is also an excellent option.
For
Offers a
me.
30-year fixed rate mortgage, low down payment requirement. This can make it easier for borrowers to get into their first home in Maine.
I mean, having that type of assistance is always amazing, and it's great that that resource is out for them. Is there any other ways that people can get down payment assistance?
Oh, absolutely. Down payment assistance is practically growing on trees here in Maine, and we've got plenty of trees. Now, local nonprofits, community groups, a lot of different types of organizations will have additional assistance programs, additional grants that can further help with down payments. Certain lenders, even, may offer lender credits or down payment assistance as well. Sometimes as much as $17,500. It is worth exploring all of these resources to see what combination is going to fit best for you and what programs you may qualify for. Sitting down with a mortgage broker is definitely a great place to start when you want to start thinking about what options you have.
That makes it like a mortgage broker is a resource for you to be able to get the best deal so you can get this house.
Absolutely.
It helps
Absolutely.
you do that. Now, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. Let's talk about some of the current market trends. I've heard great things about the market soon. I've heard, oh no, it's going to be worse and all that. Like, let's set things straight here.
Right. So there's been quite a bit of movement in the market recently. The S&P 500 fell over 2%, largely due to declines in tech stocks like Nvidia. Nvidia is under an antitrust investigation right now that's really hurting their stock prices. This has led to increased volatility, as seen with a surge in the VIX, the VIX. It's a measure of market fear. Now, when I say market fear, I see you're starting to get
I
nervous
was going to
over
say that
there.
sounds a bit intense
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it. This is actually good news in the mortgage market because as we see the stock market tightening, that's generally when the Federal Reserve is going to look at that and say that is a positive sign that inflation is coming down, that consumer confidence is coming down, and that they can start to ease back on the higher rate campaign they've been on for about 2.5 years now.
They've been a little steep. What's going on with the manufacturing sector?
Now, the US manufacturing sector has contracted for 5 straight months. The ISM manufacturing index dropped down to
Sylvia, sweetheart,
47.2.
no.
This indicates a decline in orders and in production. This affects various sectors differently, with chemicals and transportation equipment facing the most trouble.
Sorry about that. Our kid was banging on the window, and I wanted her to stop banging so it didn't make all that noise. How's the construction industry faring? I was listening.
The construction sector is struggling too. Construction spending fell 0.3% in July, with residential investment down 0.4%. Overbuilding in multifamily housing and weak single family construction are key issues here. Although we have been starting to see good signs, a lot of construction permits being put in for new single family housing developments, which means more inventory, lower home prices, and an easier loan process through to your closing date.
So, what should we look for next?
So, next, we are going to be keeping an eye on the non farm payrolls report coming out this Friday. It will provide insights into job openings and the unemployment rate, which could influence the Federal Reserve's decisions on interest rates. We've got a big decision coming up at the end of September. Hopefully, looking at a 25 basis points rate cut, which could mean for us here at Easy First Home Loans LLC, that could mean rates as low as 5.75% APR. You pair that with our Home Possible program and the Welcome Home Rate Break lender funded buy down that we're able to offer right now. In your first year, you could enjoy interest rates as low as 3.75% APR, 4.75% APR in your second year, with the note rate taking effect in the third year for a 5.75% APR for the remainder of the term.
I mean, thank you for breaking all that down because, like, you're the one who knows this. You're the smart guy.
Sure, and I really appreciate that. I find it hard to think of myself as the smart guy, considering how often I'm wrong.
Well, that's just because the logic there.
Sometimes it's important to choose to be wrong too. Now, with that, I'm going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Home Loan Huddle. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, leave us some comments. We'd love to hear from you about different topics you might like to hear us discuss in future streams. And keep an eye out for more content coming soon on our page. We really are looking forward to sharing as much mortgage industry knowledge with the common layman who might only get one or two mortgages in their life. We want to be your expert. We want to be your resource. You might do this one or two times in your life. We do this every day, and we're more than happy to answer your questions. It never costs you a thing to talk to a mortgage broker unless you actually get a loan. So I really am telling you, reach out with any questions or concerns you have. EasyFirstHomeLoans.com is our website. You can fill out a quick contact form to shoot us a question that way, or feel free to leave comments here on our YouTube channel or on our X.com profile, our Facebook profile, or our Instagram profile. There should be links in our bio for all of these. And again, thank you so much for spending your Wednesday evening with us. We'll be back next Wednesday at 8. We're looking forward to hopefully having Mike Fawaz on the show. He is the Executive Vice President at Rocket Mortgage TPO Wholesale. So he's going to be joining us to talk a little bit more about the Home Possible and Home Ready programs and the Welcome Home Rate Break that I've kind of been teasing the last couple of weeks.
Professional's professional.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if you have the resource of reach out to a professional for it, why not?
Absolutely. And Mike is a consummate professional. He's been in the industry over 30 years. Been with Rocket TPO, I believe, since 2012. So they've definitely had a good long run together. And we're really, really happy that we've got Rocket on our team, as well as now being joined by SunWest Mortgage Company and New Res Financial have joined on as lending partners with us. We're really excited to have all these great loan programs to offer to our borrowers. We do hope you'll pop over to EasyFirstHomeLoans.com. Once again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure those notifications are on, ring that bell, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 8 on the Home Loan Huddle.
Peace out.